Hi, St. John Fishers, Father John with another Friday video for you. Continuing our tour of the vestments that a priest wears. You can see I've got everything laid out here for tonight's Mass for the Feast of St. Mark. Last week we looked at the amice, this white rectangular cloth that ties around your clerical collar. This week it's the alb, the all-white garment that covers up all of the outer clothing that a priest wears. Priests celebrate the sacraments of the Church. We bring those visible signs of God's invisible presence into the world. And our baptism is the root of all of the other sacraments. We can't receive any other sacrament of the Church unless we're in serious danger of death. But normally we can't receive any other sacrament of the Church unless we've been baptized. And part of the reason for the priest wearing the white alb is the English version of the Latin word alba, meaning white. We remind ourselves of the purity of our baptism. When we're baptized, we're often draped in a white garment as a symbol of this rebirth into spiritual life. And the priest is reminded of the need to offer Mass in a way that is fitting and dignified, because he's standing in the place of Christ. And we also think of that link between heaven and earth in the book of Revelation, with that wonderful image of all the saints who have washed their robes white in the blood of the Lamb, all those who have given up their lives for the faith and now receive that reward in heaven. So the alb also helps us to visualize that bridging of the gap between heaven and earth. And as I say, the alb comes completely over the priest's outer clothing. So I've just stuffed the amice in here briefly, and it comes, the alb comes all the way over, completely covers my outer clothing here, more or less. A couple of weeks ago, we were looking at reasons for faith in God, reasons to believe in God. And there was that quote from that TV show, why believe in something awful? Why believe in nothing when you could believe in something wonderful? This world that we live in is quite wonderful, really. Everything that we need, all the resources, the perfect distance from the sun, the times and the seasons and the weather, and everything that humanity needs to exist. It is quite wonderful, and we know it's evolved out of that Big Bang at the start of the universe. Well, we've said before that you can't have something out of nothing. You can't make something out of nothing. Something has to exist first. There had to be a first cause in the universe, a first cause to create the universe, and that is what we Catholics would call God, this uncreated creator that starts everything off in motion. Thinking of this wonderful world that we have, nobody suspects that plants are intelligent. Plants don't have brains. Trees, flowers, vegetables don't have brains, and yet they know to seek out the things that help them to live. They're all programmed, if you will, to thrive in the right type of soil full of nutrients, to search after sunlight so they can engage in photosynthesis, to quest after water, to put their roots out to seek water to nourish them and fuel that growth. So if they're not intelligent, if they don't have a brain, how do they know to do this? Has it all evolved completely by accident, which when you think of the odds involved in that would be a monumentally big coincidence for it all to just accidentally come together perfectly? Or has there been a design? Has something programmed natural life, plant life, to seek out the things that help it to grow and flourish and sustain itself? That soil full of nutrients, the water contained therein, the sunlight that allows them to engage in photosynthesis and so fuel themselves and grow. Is it possible God's programmed plants to do this thing for themselves because they're not intelligent beings like we men and women, and yet they seem to know how to do this, almost as if something has programmed them to do it? Perhaps that programming we could call God. I'll see you all on Sunday at Mass. God bless.